How's it going, Kittanning? Welcome to another episode of the Kittanning Podcast. Very excited to have with me here our second county commissioner candidate interview, Mr. Don Myers. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well, Andrew. Thanks for having me here. Appreciate the opportunity to say hello to your viewers and get some information out there for them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. I really think this is so important for all of you guys to get to learn who your candidates are, and I just couldn't be more excited to have you, my friend.
Great.
So let's jump right into it. I have several questions for you here, and trying to keep the questions uniform in all the interviews. So as you guys watch these, hopefully you'll be able to get an idea of how people differentiate from each other too, so you can have an informed decision when you make your vote on May 21st.
May 21st.
All right.
Yes, it is.
So tell us a little bit, Don, about your history in Armstrong County. Tell us who you are and just your time or in our area.
Be more than happy to be here. Born and raised here in the little town of Cadogan. You know where Cadogan's at?
Absolutely, yeah, okay. The big city.
Big city of Cadogan. Don't blink your eyes, you go right through it. But
Yep.
Great little town, so that's where I was born and raised. And graduate of Fort City High School as well as Lenape Tech. And I went on to pursue my teaching certification at Indiana University, Pennsylvania, as well as cooperative education. I met my wife, Donna, here, most amazing woman on earth.
Yeah.
She's also born and raised here in the Worthington area. And at the end of this month, we're celebrating our 26th wedding anniversary.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Yeah, we've been together for over 30, but 26 married, and it's awesome. Just keeps getting better.
That's fantastic.
I couldn't do what I do without her. She's my biggest fan, biggest supporter, biggest motivator. So
Yeah.
Just a little story here. We're out, I'm out around all the different communities, talking to people, meeting people, and there was this house up on the hill, real steep hill. Okay, there's multiple sets of stairs going up to the house. So I go up the one. Yeah, it's kind of carved in with stone and such. And there's some wood stairs. I get up there, and I'm going up the last set, and it's kind of shaky. And I'm not a small guy,
You're right.
so it's kind of shaky. And she winds down the window. She says, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, just, if I take a spill, I'm going down hard." She's like, "Get up there." So, long story short, I go up there and nobody's home.
Yeah.
Okay, but I left the information on the porch. But the funny part about it is my wife's 5'5",
Yeah.
110 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm 6'2". I'm not going to disclose my weight, but I'm not small by any means. But so she pushed me, motivates me, and truly an amazing person in a lot of different ways.
That's awesome.
We have two children, Josette and Keith, who also live here and are raising their kids, our grandkids in the county. Josette's son, Roman, is a year old, just turned a year in February. And our son, Keith, his daughter, Isabella, just turned 3 a week and a half ago.
Oh, that's fun.
And, she's awesome, ball of energy, 3-year-olds. If any of you out there have grandkids are the best. You have all the fun without the responsibility. So, it's always nice to have them close to you here. We live in South Buffalo. We built our house in South Buffalo Township, Mackville Road. We built a house in 2000. Like I said, we've been here our whole life. I've worked in the county my whole career as a teacher at Lenape Tech School, as well as a building construction contractor, and I now currently own East Coast Clocks in Ford Cliff.
That's great.
For me, why do I want to do this? A lot of times in life, I think it's about timing.
Yeah.
Okay. And
absolutely.
This is the right time for me to do something like this, to serve the people, take my skills and experiences that I've acquired, my successes over the last 30 years, and put them to work for Armstrong County.
I love that. I was just talking the other day about, in another video, about timing and how it just seems like life always seems to prepare you in this season for what you're going to be doing in the next season. And so I know you have a lot of history in the county. You've done a lot of different things. What do you think makes you uniquely qualified to be our next county commissioner?
When I think of myself, I'm a builder, an educator, and a business person. That's where my skill sets, my experience over the last 30-plus years are wrapped around. And I have a story with that. And being a teacher, there's stories with everything. So when you're doing lessons, it all starts off with a story.
Absolutely.
A good friend of mine, we met, it was maybe a year or so ago. We were talking about different things, and I told him my idea to run for county commissioner and so on and so forth. And he looks at me and he says, you had the opportunity to retire early, which I had over 27 years in the school system. So it wasn't like retiring. It's time to do something different.
Sure.
That was a great career, and I enjoyed it, but it's an opportunity to move on. And I started a business. He's like, you have this business that you love to do. You love firearms and accessories, and you're having fun there. And here you are swinging for the fence, running for county commissioner. And when he said that statement to me, I really liked it, and it kind of just nailed it for who I am. That's the way I do things. I swing for the fence. I mean, if you see me swinging from a fence, that's not good. I'm talking swinging for the fence in the way of home runs. And our county desperately needs some home runs when it comes to jobs, opportunities for our youth, training for our workforce. Growing, bringing people here. We need some home runs. We've had first base hits, and that's fun. But home runs are where it's at. We gotta bring it on home when we're talking about those things.
I love it.
My experience as a builder, educator, and business person, I think those skill sets are going to help us move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so tell me a little bit about, what do you love about Armstrong County?
Armstrong County has so many different little charms when you think about it. I mean, first off, it's a great place to raise your family. Yeah. I've done that and intend to stay here and keep on doing that. Great place to build a house, great place to start a business. You can get a great education here through our school systems. Just a lot of different little things about it. There's so many charms. But for me, when I think about it, I have to think about the people. The people are so friendly, and no matter where you go, they come together and do good things for people. And it leads me to another little story about my grandson, Roman. Like I said, he's a year old in February. He was born with a rare heart defect, hypoplastic left heart syndrome. Some of you may know what that is. But anyways, essentially, left side of your heart never develops with that. Oh, so he's born with half a heart, so very life-threatening. Immediately, within hours, he was flown to Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh, and that's where he spent the first 4 months of his life. And it was just amazing. People we didn't even know that reached out to support our family. Absolutely. My daughter being a young mother and first child, I mean, you talk about the stress and the anxiety and things of that, and for us as well, the whole family, and the way people reached out and supported us, amazing. If I could serve those people and do good things for their family, that would be great. Absolutely.
Yeah, my daughter was just in the hospital a couple months ago, and I could not believe the people, I mean, just the love from the people of our county and our city, and just it's just, we live in a really great community, really great communities all around us.
Oh, definitely. And you experience it, and hopefully you don't have to go through a situation like that to experience it. If you get out and go to things, you see it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're fortunate, and I'd probably say that's my number one thing about the county.
Yeah, I love it. Me too. So tell me about, what are your favorite things to do in Armstrong County, favorite places to visit, all those kinds of things?
I'm an outdoor kind of guy. I like outdoor activities. I like to hunt. It's hard to find a time sometimes to do all the things I like to do, with things you're trying to achieve, work and such. But I like to hunt, preferably archery. I'm an archery hunter. As I get older, I'm a fair weather hunter. Maybe some of you out there are as well. I'm not a big cold weather fan. However, it doesn't keep me indoors. I get out and find things to do there as well. But shooting, being involved with firearms since I was a kid. My grandfather was a Marine, and he taught me, all the safety and appreciation for firearms. So I really enjoy that, and I do that often. And I'm sure some people have seen my shooting videos with my business page. Boating, I mean, the Allegheny River is right in our backyard. I don't own a boat. My wife and I don't own a boat, but friends of ours have a pontoon boat, and you talk about a great way to spend the day and relax and go out in the river. We're very fortunate. I mean, that's a tremendous untapped resource we have here in the county.
Totally agree.
I've met people from all over the country, and when they visit here and they see that, they have water in your backyard. You go to states like Florida, everything's about the water. The businesses around there, it brings people in, the tourism, and the money comes in to those counties and those areas. Yeah. It's just an amazing thing. We need to expand upon that. Summer festivals, I mean, all the things that happen throughout the summer in the different communities, the entertainment venues right up here on the riverfront, the Arts in Allegheny, the concerts, I mean, those are just awesome. We love live entertainment, my wife and I. And, if you go around the county, you'll find it. Last summer they had Sammy Kershaw and Donnie Iris there. I grew up listening to Donnie back in the day, and he's here in Kittanning, rocking Kittanning, and it was just an amazing thing. So, I mean, there's a lot of things like that happening. You just got to get out and go see them. The spring and fall gun bashes that are always happening. I've been attending those, and I've attended those long before I decided to run for commissioner. I mean, those are just fun things. Armstrong County, we love our firearms, and those bashes bring people together by the hundreds. Yeah. The fire hall events, Paradise Park, the Rib Fest.
Oh, yeah.
I've already booked that on my calendar. You got entertainment, ribs, cheeseburger in paradise. I mean, those are just amazing things to do. And something new and very big, and I have the privilege to announce it here. I'm kind of excited to get this out to the people. On Oktoberfest is being planned October 5th in the county at Lingrove Farms from very good friends of mine. Sprankles Market. If you
Oh,
know
wow.
Sprankles, you're on Facebook, you see Sprankles every day. They do giveaways. I mean, they give away more things than Santa Claus. You got Sprankles right down here. Ryan Sprankle runs the Kittanning store. Doug owns and runs the Leechburg store. Their dad, Randy, and their mom and Brenda. I mean, Randy, I see him in the videos, I just love Randy. Randy's like the John Wayne of grocers. And they're planning this and putting this together now. And if you follow their stuff, you're going to see all the details. But October 5th, and I can't imagine if you're in the county why you wouldn't want to be there.
That's awesome.
And I think it's going to bring people in, and that's what we need. We need things like that that bring people to our county, see what we have, and want to be here.
So that's going to be at Lindgrove Farms, you said?
Lindgrove Farms, October 5th.
What a great venue, and that time of year is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, and they like I said, they do all kind of giveaways. You follow their page. Thousands of people follow them.
Yeah.
So you'll get all the details there. And I talked to Doug, and he said, you have 2 free tickets.
Oh,
so
that's
October
awesome.
5th, mark your calendar.
How cool. That's great.
Yes.
Well, thank you, sir.
Sure. Thank Doug.
So now this is where we get real political, you know.
Sure.
What's your favorite restaurant in Armstrong County?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to need a few minutes there because I definitely got some experience. You can tell. This is serious business. We're talking about favorite restaurants.
I know. It's tough for me, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many to name or to narrow one down as a favorite. You know, I got to think of all the ones that I enjoy on a regular basis. You know, whether it's just a sandwich or a full-course meal. You know, and I've done some traveling up and down the East Coast. I had different countries and things, so I've tried food in a lot of different places, and we're doing well here. We got some good things. I think of Stanley's hot sausage. I mean, that is a long-time classic. From the time I was a kid, I remember going in there seeing Bernie chopping up the onions and the sausage, and they've maintained that consistency. And I'm sure you've had a hot sausage from Stanley's.
Yeah, I've had one, but I need to have more, honestly.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. And then Fort City Hoagie, formerly Miller's Hoagie, they've been making MTOs before MTOs were even a thing. The Villa, where I grew up, down over the hill.
Oh yeah.
You know, you'll meet people down in Pittsburgh that come to the Villa, and I'm like, yeah, it's right by where I grew up.
Yeah.
In a weekend, their parking lot's packed. They have cars up the hill. I mean, they're drawing people into the county. Great food, eggplant parm, their Scrod Villa. The Mariner along the river here is just amazing. They have new owners. I've ate there a couple times since. I mean, they're doing a great job. Good food. Flavio's down in Apollo. You know, high-end, very, very good food. And newer places. We got new places popping up, and definitely I'm going to try them when they're around.
Yeah.
You know, we have Villa Rosa right up here in Kittanning. It's not real new, but the chicken a la mafia is fantastic if you haven't tried that. The Craft House, Rachel's Roadhouse, Ryan's Creek House. The newest, one of our newest favorites is Yamato, just a couple blocks from here. We were actually,
my favorite place.
Oh, it's great. We were there a couple days ago, and we were at the conservation dinner, and we met these folks. We're talking to them, and the gentleman was stationed in Japan when he was in the military in the service, and he was telling me that, you know, the Japanese food there is right on point.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because we just ate there a couple days ago, and we walked in, and they were there.
Yeah.
They were eating. So I mean, he said they love it, and we walk in and see him, and we said hi to him. So it was very good, Yamato. And the last thing, and like I said, I didn't eat a minute here, but when you think if you like wings, chicken wings, Armstrong County is like Wing Central.
Yeah.
We have very good friends, Brian and Laura, Guy and Andrea, good friends of ours, my wife and I. We do a wing tour. We've been doing this for over 5 years, and we take turns picking. About every month and a half, we pick a spot.
Yeah.
And our last place we were at was Super Shooters up in 422. And we're sitting there trying to think, you know, the best places. And I tell you what, the top 5 are in Armstrong County.
Yeah.
You just can't go wrong. I mean, anywhere here, Super Shooters, you got the Wick City Saloon, the Sidebar, Hot Spot down here, night courts in Fort City. I mean, it's just endless.
Yeah.
And so if you're a wing person,
I love me some chicken wings. I got to be honest with you.
It's Armstrong County cuisine.
Well, very cool. So you have extensive restaurant knowledge for sure. That's awesome. Now we'll get into the real political stuff.
That's fine.
Every county commissioner in Canada, I'm trying to ask, you know, everyone's going to have different priorities when you're in office. What do you see as the 3 biggest problems in Armstrong County, the 3 things that you'd like to focus on as the next county commissioner?
You know, when I'm out talking to people from all over, north, south, east, west Armstrong, it's really no secret of what we need or what people want. I hear that, you know, just a consensus all over the county. People want to see jobs. They want opportunity. You know, people are concerned with taxes. And, you know, when I look at problems, to me it comes to a marketing thing.
Yeah.
You know, our county has not been, in my opinion, not been marketed like it could be or should be for a very, very long time. I market daily. I have a business. I live it. I don't read about it. I don't hear about it. I live it daily, and it's a whole different ball game than what it was years and years ago. It changes so fast, and if you're not on top of it, you're getting left behind. I mean, if people are walking around with phones in their pockets, you can tap right to them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can, and you have to be on that daily. It's a daily thing. You can't put out a flyer for something and think you're doing good.
Right.
You can reach thousands of people just with what you're doing here. This is an awesome thing you're doing, and we need that daily.
Yeah.
We need to market this county like it's never been done before. We want to draw people here. When you get people here, you get businesses, and they create opportunities, build houses. Grow our tax base is a big thing for me. We got to grow our tax bases. When you're on a fixed income, when you're retired, taxes are a huge burden.
Oh, yeah.
When you open that tax bill, it just takes the wind out of your sails. You're thinking, how am I coming up with this large chunk of money? So, I mean, we got to keep those at bay, and we got to bring people here, market this county, grow our tax base, and, those things will happen. Also, you have to have an available trained workforce. As job placement coordinator when I was at Lenape, the last 10 years, that was my job, to go out and find places for students in all the 16 programs.
Oh, wow.
Find placement for them, secure jobs so that they can go out, and enter the workforce. And there's so many things throughout the county that people don't even know about because you travel your daily route where you're going. And they all looking for the same thing. They need workers.
Yeah.
So you got to bring people here to get that. You got to keep people here, and we got to bring people here. We got to attract them here. And show them this is the place they want to be. This is where they want to raise their family, build their house, start their business.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to take care of a lot of our problems. It's going to create opportunity. It's going to grow our tax base, and that's what we desperately need.
Absolutely. Well, that kind of leads. I'm gonna flip one of these questions because we have. Actually, no, I'm not. It's like leads right into what I was talking about. So you actually, at Lenape, you guys all would try to connect those students right to a available job in the county?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So then, I mean, my next question was, I have 4 big things I've been talking about for the city of Kittanning, and I think they're applicable to all the communities in Armstrong County. So the first one is the availability of jobs. How can we attract new businesses? How do you fill up downtown areas like Ford City, Kittanning, and then industrial complex like North Point? How do we attract those new jobs and connect the workforce to them?
Well, like I said, I mean, when you talk about the marketing, you got to get people interested to come here. But more importantly, when they come here, there's businesses that want to come here. They do visit the county.
Yeah.
And then, maybe whatever reason they change and go somewhere else. We have to close the deal with them. We have to meet their needs. When it comes to business and bringing business here and attracting them, it's what can we do for you, not what can you do for us. I want to meet with those employers, and I want to close them deals. I've started business from the ground up, from the time you drive the first stake, or building houses from the time you drive the first stake, the first shovel of dirt till you turn the key, or with a business from the time you file the EIN and the first employee comes in or the first order,
right?
Things of that nature. So, I mean, I know what it takes and the hurdles that they have to go through, and you have to welcome them here. There's nothing more important than that. If someone's coming to set up shop here and they want to spend their money and lots of time and create opportunities for our people in this county, you have to make them feel welcome. When I went to decided to go to Fort Cliff to set up my business, my gun store, East Coast Clocks, they welcomed me with open arms. I mean, you still, as a business person, the hurdles you have to overcome, the state codes and everything that you have to meet. But I tell you, it's very important when the people support and welcome you. So, I think those are things that we gotta do better, and we gotta help them jump over these hoops, these hurdles, whatever's keeping them out. We got to change it and bring them here and close the deals with business. So, meeting with them, marketing, getting people here. When they're here, we need to close the deal and tell them this is the place they need to be.
Absolutely. So when you were at Lenape, did you ever have those experiences where a business was looking at Armstrong County and then they would come and visit you guys and say, hey, how could you train people for us?
Oh, sure. That happens often. I mean, when you're looking to set up a business, there's so many things that you're thinking about, but one is there a workforce?
Yeah, for
I'm not
sure.
going to spend millions of dollars and then I got no workers.
Right.
So, the businesses that done well, they come and they work with schools. Lenape does an amazing job, and it's not just because I've worked there. If you've had a student there, that they've done great things for your children and the skills they offer, and they're training people, but it's not enough. We need more.
Right.
Okay, when you look at like Brigade Specialty Foams that just built that monster addition, 50,000 square feet right on Route 85.
Right.
I mean, you could turn a jet plane there. I was there when they were pouring the concrete and seeing it. It's just like amazing. I mean, I love those things. I'm building construction background. And, great opportunities there. He needs workers to fill that place. So, I mean, if you're looking for an opportunity, there's one right now.
Yeah.
And there's going to be good jobs there. But those businesses, sure, yeah, they want to know that they have the support of the community. They want to know there's a workforce. They're looking at the taxes and what kind of regulations and codes. If it's easier somewhere else,
right,
they're not going to come.
Right.
So it sounds simple, but really a lot of times it's a simple negotiation and making sure we meet their needs.
Right. I love that. So that's our first problem. The second problem that we've been talking about is the opioid epidemic. Obviously, you probably know Armstrong County was number 2 in the state, I believe, 4 years ago. Then I think we were dropped to number 4 in the state for overdose deaths. I know it's been falling. It seems like we're going in the right direction, but obviously it's still going to need a lot of attention moving forward. What would you do as county commissioner to help solve the opioid epidemic?
When I think of opioids, I think of even beyond that with all the bad drugs, the crack cocaine, the methamphetamines, the heroin, sure. And I mean, those things destroy people, they destroy families, destroy communities. I've seen it. I've had friends that's went through it, and I've seen it firsthand, and I know how it affects them. Magistrate Gary DeComo, his campaign, Drugs Kill Dream, he's been educating people for years in what that's all about and how bad it. People make bad choices sometimes. And it affects every walk of life. It don't matter if you're a general laborer to a CEO of a company. So right. I think it's everybody's business and everybody's concern when you're trying to curb these things and get them out of our community. As county commissioner, I would 100% support our local law enforcement, our sheriff, Bill Rupert, his department, our district attorney, Katie Charlton, and her staff. I mean, we need to bring the hammer down on these people.
Yeah.
We got to do it, swift, sharp, and drive it home. And we got great people in place to do it. They just need 100% support in doing their job and getting it done. So, like I said, I've seen it. I know what it does to families and the community and the county as a whole. 100% support.
Yeah.
For those people, from me.
Okay. Well, very good.
I just not to keep going on that, but I would like the perception to be, if you're someone and you're going to try and come to Armstrong County and do that, I'd like the perception to be you're not going to be happy here. We have the people and the resources, and we're not going to make it easy for them.
Right. Okay. Well, very good. Number 3 on my list is blight. You probably know blight is a huge problem, not only in Kittanning but across the county. I know the county government has started a blight task force. They've started to explore land banks and those kinds of things, and recently completed the first project, I believe, in Kittanning, and then I've done a couple in Leechburg. So there's some stuff moving, but how do we solve that problem? How would you continue to solve that problem as our next county commissioner?
Blight, it is a very important and serious thing. I think right off the bat, sometimes people don't know what we're talking about. Blight, I do from my background, but the garden analogy, when you see it on your plants, tomato plants or potatoes, you got to treat it or remove it, and it's the same thing with buildings. In areas and towns and communities. With my construction background, I know what it takes to restore a building to look nice and make it marketable and attractive and things of that nature. And when people are looking to build a new home, $500,000 house or more, or set up a business, you don't want to be next to something that's falling apart or unsightly.
Right.
There's times or situations that maybe people just can't afford it. They want to fix it up. So, if there's grants out there, we have different agencies and that to work with them, maybe low-income housing loans. If it's neglect, our townships and our municipalities, they have codes, they have zoning. Sometimes you got to give them a little push.
Yeah.
If you got some trash, rubbish laying around, pick it up, mow your grass. Little things go a long way.
Right.
You don't necessarily have to completely remodel something to make it look better. But in a county situation, in county buildings that are bad, many times to bring them up to code and restore them is not cost effective, so they need to be taken down.
Yep.
And put something marketable there.
Yep.
So that's what I see with blight and working with it and the different communities and the people, to address those things and kind of make the place look better.
Yeah, I always tell people there's the carrot and the stick. You gotta offer the carrot. That's the grant you're talking about, and the stick, you got to do codes enforcement, all the proper stuff there. So it sounds like you're on the same page.
Yeah, you're not trying to make hardships for people, but
exactly.
At the same time, there's things that have to be done for the best of everybody.
Right. Well, good stuff. Okay. So the fourth problem that I'm talking about through all of 2019 is that the problem of our local governments. They have a very difficult job, and sometimes they can be inefficient, ineffective because they're very busy, and the burden coming down from the state government, county government, a lot of times for people that are just working part-time on a city council, they're having trouble getting through all the regulatory aspect of what it takes to run a city. Mm-hmm. How would you, as the next county commissioner, help our local cities, help them to manage the problems that they face? How would you work with our local communities to help get more grant money, state money, all those kinds of things into our towns?
I mean, everything takes money. It's no secret. When you're running a business, and the county's a big business,
mm-hmm.
So you need income, you need cash flow to do things and make things, improve different things and move forward. When you're talking about grant money, we have to go after it all. You know, I'm aggressive towards things like that. I think we need to be going after it. I don't want to sound greedy, but I want it all for Armstrong County.
Yeah.
If it's out there, it's available, I want to apply for it, and I want it here, dispersing it to our different areas to make improvements. We have great State Rep Jeff Powell. I mean, Jeff lives here. He loves Armstrong County. He's got our back. He's looking out for us and doing what he can to make sure good things happen here and the funds that are available for us. G.T. Thompson on his recent campaign that he won. G.T.'s a great guy. I had an opportunity to meet and speak with him. He's about career and tech ed, so we had a lot to talk about. Me being a career and tech ed former teacher. And, he's at the Congress level, and he's working to make sure that Armstrong County, he knows our way of life. He supports us. He's out there doing it. So we got to maintain those partnerships and go after everything we can.
Yeah.
I mean, they're working for us, but we got to work for ourselves and go after it and get that out. When I was growing up as a kid in Cadogan, little town of Cadogan, I didn't know anything about grants or what, but I know how it happened now. They put in a basketball court, a playground when I was a little kid, and it was just a great thing for everybody. I remember that very vividly. A lot of great memories there, and I was walking Cadogan, knocking and seeing some people I haven't seen in a long time out campaigning, and I walked up past the basketball court, and it's still there. I mean, you're talking 40-plus years ago.
Right.
And that's how something can change a community and help a community. That you get a grant for something like that, it improves it overall. And they've taken care of it, so that's nice to see as well.
Yeah.
But that's what we got to do. We just got to maintain those and work hard, and anything that's available, you got to go after it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel like we have the right city council, at least in Kittanning. Like, there's a lot of people there. They really care about the community. They really have the community's best interest in mind. And it's just like, to see them struggle and to work through the regulatory stuff. I'm glad to hear, to make partnerships with the county, state level, and federal level, I think is so important.
Youth is being involved with youth is a big part of my background. Being a teacher, being a scoutmaster in the Scouts, and you want the youth to have good experiences and reasons to stay here.
Absolutely.
Get them invested in the communities and things of that nature. I remember those moments, the playgrounds, and I went back and was a Cub Master. My son's an Eagle Scout. Some of the best people I know and met in my life are through things like that.
Yeah.
So keeping people involved, but those are the things that keep them here.
Absolutely. Well, very good. So the last one, and this isn't on my list that I'm always talking about, but this is what I always hear when we talk about the county is taxes. You touched on it a couple of times. I hear a lot of complaints about taxes in the county. What's your overall view on the tax issue?
Well, I too, when you're out and around and all over the county, you hear people's views and opinions on everything, and taxes are definitely a concern. Like I said before, when you open that bill, it's a big burden, especially if you're on a fixed income. So we have to hold the line, and you need a certain amount of money to run the business.
Right.
But at the same time, we can't put that burden on the individual. We got to find ways to grow our tax base. I go back to that. We got to get people here and spread the cost out so that the bill doesn't keep going up for you and I and everyone. So, we got to hold the line on that. I want to see people keep more of their hard-earned money. And, I see varying opinions. Most people, they do have the big concerns of taxes. I've met people that's lived elsewhere, and they don't think it's that bad here. Mm-hmm. But in the same time, my goal is to keep that at bay, hold the line, draw people here, and spread the cost out with growth. So.
Well, very good. Yeah, I think growth cures everything. If you can bring people in, bring jobs in.
And you have to manage that growth. There's areas that we have that are ready to grow. Yeah. And there's other areas there's just not really much possibility to grow. I've heard people tell me, "Oh, we don't want this to be a cranberry." I don't think we're in danger of that
Yeah.
for a while. But I'll tell you what, you can't be scared of growth
Yeah.
if it's in a good way and you manage it and do it smartly. It's going to bring good things to our county.
Yeah. That might bring its own problems, but I think I would take some of those problems. That'd be all right for me.
Yeah, I mean, when you go, just to use as an example, not to go on with it, Cranberry, you get down there, things are happening. People are there, they're spending money that, they're not having some of the issues we're having.
Right. Well, that's great. I'm what I really would love to see from not only a city perspective but from a county perspective is some kind of long-term vision. And so that's my last question for you is, what's your overall vision for the county? If you were elected and you served a couple terms in Armstrong County, what would the county look like 8-10 years from now if everything goes the way that you're planning it?
I have a pretty grand view there, visions of grandeur when I think of that, and I think it's possible. I always live by the philosophy, if better's possible, good's not enough.
Yeah.
Better's possible for us, and I would like to walk over. I live near the Slate Lake exit. I'm in a Mackville Road. I go over to the Slate Lake exit. I like to go over there at 5:30 in the morning and see a stream of headlights coming north instead of a stream of tail lights going south.
Yeah.
I think it would be a great indicator and know that things are happening. From a teacher's perspective, when I was teaching, you're doing a lesson, you have an objective, what are you trying to do, the activities, how you're going to do it, and evaluation.
Yeah.
How can we tell what's happening?
Right.
That'd be an evaluation. You see that happening, you know good things are happening here. And, just opportunities for growth and structure and managed growth and see that all taking place. I mean, that's the vision I have. People coming here, people saying, we got to go to Armstrong County. That's a great place to be. I want to build my house there. I want to raise my kids there. I want to start my business there. And keep people here. Get them invested in their communities.
Yeah.
And the next leaders of the county.
Absolutely.
I ain't got too many years. I got a good run in me.
Yeah.
But there comes a time where we need new people. The young people are the future. They're our number one resource. So we want to keep them here, give them reasons to stay here, and see that growth for them and their future and for all of us.
I love the vision of the headlights coming. I
mean, to me, that drives it home. And you could go there now and see what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not what I want. I want it the opposite.
Yeah. Well, that's really great. So, last question then, Don, is how can people how can they get in touch with you if they have additional questions? How can they get involved with your campaign and, that kind of stuff?
I feel I'm probably the most accessible, not to slight anybody else. I have a store in Fort Cliff. I'm there Tuesday through Saturday. It's kind of Myers for commissioner headquarters.
There you go.
We got yard signs. We got handouts. I'm going door to door. If you'd like to help out in your community and spread the word and know about me, come meet me. I'd love to talk with you and work with you and get the information out there. You can follow my page. When I'm out and about, I post everything so people can see what I'm doing. And I plan to do that all the way through. If I'm fortunate enough and if people hire me to work for them, they elect me, they're going to know what's happening. They're going to know what I'm up to. It's not going to be no secret.
Right.
I'm going to show them, what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. So, follow my page. Come see me. There's yard signs. We're real close, six weeks out, basically.
Right.
And, it's an opportunity. If you want to see some change, you have an opportunity May 21st. Go check that box.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, I will put all the links to reach Don in the description. So if you want to go check out his Facebook page or you want to go visit his store, all those kinds of things, I'll have all his information in there. And, hopefully you learned enough about a county commissioner candidate here that if you like what Don has to offer, that you'll go on May 21st and make your vote for him.
Well, I appreciate the time, the opportunity, appreciate the people. Hope many people watch it, and look forward to it.
Absolutely. I really enjoyed our time together, and we'll see all you guys in the next one.
Take care. Have a great day.